단책 동원에 냠집에 책자 한장내 못하고 자고래 다다 같이 엉얼어가지고 단책 차송 공공다 단책 잘 갈래 직장만 없상 거요래 말에 다들 믿음 하마치데 다들 relativi 춤을 토바디 삼바도 힘지게 좀 받쳐서 좋았으면 되네 소리물인데 로요래 좋다다다 생각은 하고 말이지 담책 냠세 받을 생은 유목을 사오는데 내려요래 제 내려오나 유목을 조금 사오는데 해당도 차 senna서 그래서 냐와야다 들었음 해당 sen나 해당 sen나 자오 순데 또 목성을 해야지 될 수 있는 먹는 거지 대근 이 손주고 저지 되리 녹차그 미래 sen나그 예다리 또 먹고 또 로리 해당은 냐와리 지 사오는데 매도 나이 매도 사오는 이자다 그냥 하고 말 매도 사오는데 조반적 뒤수고 그서는 정리 깨끗 삼바한 속인도 초 나와 이놈 메이놈 케리놈 메이놈 초 저시당시 용이 자자자는 매도다 뭐 그러느냐가 사옹 냐가 등을 남이 해당 호랑 냐가 남이 차디오니 제하고를 삼수 다다 냠만냐 그냥 하고 말이요 가르치는 게 삼고요지 얘는 sembu를 해당 많이시다 니나를 돈이 냐면 마음 봐라 스마트 같이 다들 내려주대 그래서 좀 이렇게 하면은 다다 케미는 초라라고 약간 무슨 케라는 말은 도지 등이지 라미가 주사요 말랑 등이 저 소소랑 저 차대요 제 잡고래지.
Then it says, vows observed conceptually deviate from the meaning of samaya. And so that is when, in terms of like losing our, degenerating our samaya, that we feel that when our samayas are transgressed, then we feel regret, and we don't really understand how things still do not work out, even though we have in our mind not really actually transgressed any samaya, or we have purified it and so on. So the reason for not seeing that is because we only know what we see in this life. But it is said that if you wish to know what you did in the past lives, then look at your present body. It is because in the past you have given rise to a mind of love and compassion, and impelled by that you have practiced generosity, morality, patience. As a result of that, of these actions, you have now obtained a precious human body. And now that is all that we can see, is this life. So when we speak about samaya transgression, that is conceptually, it is something that might not be apparent to us, because the afflictive emotions are not samayas, but our vows actually have their root in the afflictive emotions, and these are like seeds hidden in our mind. So we cannot see the seeds of a flower right now, but the seeds of the 6 classes of samsara are still present within our mind. For example, the seeds of hatred, of jealousy, of stinginess or greed are the seeds for the hell realms, hungry spirits, and animal realms. Desire is the seed of the human realm, and so on. So each of the afflictive emotions is like a seed that leads to the birth in one of the 6 classes of samsara. And just like the seed of a flower, the flower is not yet seen in the seed, so we cannot actually perceive it. But Lord Chigden Sumgön had said that the karmic ripening is the momentary projection of one's inner thought, one's inner state of mind. And so that is, whether you are a Buddhist or not, or believe in karma or not, if the cause of hatred, for instance, is present in your mind stream, then with 100% certainty you possess the seed for birth in hell in your mind stream. And that is because hatred itself, or this anger in itself, the nature of that emotion itself is hell. So you have hell with you in your mind stream already by having hatred in your mind. So that is now the observing the vows conceptually is that even if we feel that on the outer level we are not really transgressing our vows, but actually the seeds of these vows to be observed or transgressions are within our mind. So even if it is not manifesting on the outer level, if the seed of hatred, for instance, is still in the mind, we still are creating the causes for birth in hell. Because that is important to understand, because often people, if they misunderstand, they think that for as long as they do not transgress the vows on the outer level, they don't pay much attention to the seeds in their mind. And so then it is said, if you wish to know where you will go next in future lives, then look at your present actions. And now again, it makes no difference whether one believes or accepts karma or not. If one possesses certain causes, then the result of suffering will ripen and there is no way to escape. And that is because it is oneself, it is one's own mind. It is one's own mind that has become the cause of suffering. And so that is really something that we have to be very careful about.
Mene memek thone madana asum tandire yorkanga mene jokanga memek don mesenna jokanga don je sanjela mbame baso de nantarso ngoni jomba me bantre sima me baso mene memek don mesenna sembu me pena 너는 저밤이 바란도 요래 담책나 미면 bedreame 탑하면 ramji semko nelok지 데 ramji 차대 데 레소밤에 봐서 semko nelok사오 sartong나 갔다 오지네 이제 딱딱 ramji ram종 시송 ram종 시식이 좀 이제 이제 랑게 상고당 파서 로조 말이지.
And then, when you pay no mind to the non-abiding meaning that is without reference, the unimpaired samaya is a lamp in the darkness. So that is, when there is a three terms, it is non-abiding, without reference, unimpaired. So it is nowhere, mind is nowhere abiding. So there is no abiding point. It is also without a reference point, and so the nature is without reference point, and you abide with the immaculate samaya. With basically what it refers to is without grasping. So these three terms here, it refers to remaining within a state free of grasping at anything. By remaining within a state that is free of grasping, then that is the unimpaired samaya. And then now remaining within that state, being free of wants and not dwelling in extremes, then everything will be accomplished naturally. And so that is because when you rest within the natural state of your own mind, then it is your natural state, so therefore it requires no effort. There is no need to recognize or to investigate anything, like the meaning of the scriptures and so on. So you rest within your true nature, which is clear and empty, and that clear and empty nature is referred to as a self-arising primordial wisdom. Its self-abiding nature is its quality. And because it is your natural state, you only need to rest in the natural state, and there is no need to fabricate anything conceptually or with your intellect.
대노 천나만은 통은 저서 다 사제에 다리 공 대노 참체 책적 공배고만 저서 동지 하고서는 대노 참체 있는 뭐 하고서는 동들은 요는 코로 쪽에 다지 다 있으면은 코라 코지 매와 나단 코와 요바데 좀 만남다와 하고 코로 쪽에 다시 동들은 양자 말이 듣서 랑그 생각 내lok마도 니디네 디네 다주동 코와 로코라 뭔가 자고라스 단 차동도 셔서는 잡치처리 좀 차서 잡초는 코다 코지요 마스 데브 룸에서 시에파이서 데브 룸에서 산지에 때마 문에든데 산지에 때마 가리 랑그 셈네 영서던데 산지에 때마 셈도 상마치 산지에 때마 데레서 말이 산지에 가는 거래.
When you are free of all wants and not dwelling in extremes, you will perceive all the teachings of the scripture collections without exception. So then, when you only understand this point of non-grasping, that is, you're free of all wants and not dwelling in the extremes, if you only understand this, then you have understood the essence of all of the Buddha's teachings, of all the scripture collections. And then if you dedicate yourself to this fact, you will be freed from samsara's prison. So when we perceive a duality, then there is samsara and someone who wanders in samsara. But when you realize that there is no duality, then there is no more samsara, or no cycle of existence, and no wandering around in that cycle. You see it like an illusion or like a dream. Then equipoise upon this fact burns away ignorance, negativity, and obscurations. So then resting within the natural state of the mind without dualistic grasping, then that in itself, this equipoise of resting in that state is what burns away all ignorance, all obscuration. So it is because we are grasping at a duality that we are wandering in the 6 realms of samsara in circles. But then when the ice block melts, it merges to be one with the ocean. And then once it has merged with the ocean, within that water there is no more division or duality. And thus it is described as the lamp of the teachings. So that is the actual teachings of the Buddha. The actual teaching of the Buddha is, the Buddha himself had said, completely tame your own mind. This is the Buddha's teaching. That is, purify your own mind. That is the actual teachings or the word of the Buddha.
then water to the top of you to put there go is in the bike so they are galaxy is by Jena or is telling me something that the young thing out in young or is to say is doing it there is hard to gonna give anything for it give it take from material give it I each you is Giving take chance at the words. Then you cheat the Tian Chena, Sanab of where I say to Andrew. See the same doing chicken, but chicken same with chicken piece of yours.
Foolish persons disinterested in this fact are spent forever carried off by the great river of cyclic existence. How worthy of compassion are they, enduring evil destinies, unbearable miseries. So those who do not develop trust in karma will not be able to let go self-grasping. And in that state, their mind will remain like a block of ice, and they will continue to wander in the 6 realms of samsara. However, it is remaining in the 6 realms of samsara is like an ongoing great hardship, because again and again there is no escape. We cannot experience well-being anywhere in samsara. Again and again we will have to experience the suffering, the miseries of the 3 lower states of existence, and there is no way out. In order to become liberated from suffering, therefore, it says, if you want release from ill-being, you should attend a masterful guru. We need to rely on a spiritual master. And from the disciple's side, a disciple must develop trust in that master, and that master must have great love for the disciple. And so when the trust of the disciple and the love of the master come together, then the blessings of the master will enter your mind stream and your mind will become liberated. And so this is the way that we benefit each other. It is because we are actually one on the basis of the mental continuum. So from one mind to the other, the blessings are absorbed.
레자티는 대동이 차탑다 지랍서는 넘버는 적다와 도 넘바다 내서 저다 를 차버서 아들 힘이 대동이 차서 되게 뭘 안돼 쳐가는데 람등 타서를 랍그 따로 종 텄네 유모가 이실 저서바까비 다 유모가 타지 등에 대화를 저서 유모 이실 저서바까 대래 레자티바까 르면은 따뜻한 코라는데 바탕제데 상하가 남나시네들이 편주 딱바탕하는 거를 편주 라인도 시제는 제게는 양 총코르도 집어다와서 코가 담아봐 마인바 저저 다한 것들은 보고 요래서 타는 것들이 사족선부터 말했더니 편주 상바다 대화를 다위 인지를 논의들이 얘는 편배서서 사족생 것들이 저한테 대선 탑을 봤음니 대대들이 레자진들라 레젤라 람나로 주dok던 저한테 랭 라이스탄한 저한테 대선 발았더니 괜히 사족생의 담책을 때문에 좁아탐지 파신 쪽을 전에 리도 쪼어지면 대편중 진짜 와지는 소남도 초런도 그래서 말이 베세 제 초조 바로 탑지서 와로는 매도 산중승이 예담나 가리나더니 중용진이 저쪽으로 그래서.
And then if you consort with the action mudra, bliss, emptiness, wisdom will arise. Thus enter into equilibrium, the blessing of method and knowledge. The pure essence should be gently brought down, retained, reversed, drawn up, conveyed to its abode, and made to pervade the body. When you are free of clinging to that, bliss, emptiness, wisdom will arise. This verse here speaks of taking the afflictive emotions as the path, and there's also different levels to that, according to the higher, middling, and lower mental capacity of the practitioner. So in the ideal case, the highest capacity, such a practitioner has attained the fortress of the view. And having attained the fortress of the view, one has an ability to transform the afflictive emotions into wisdom, or one can transform all suffering into happiness. And so that is the action mudra here from the highest perspective. And then secondly, for those of medium mental capacity, for instance, those who live a worldly, a samsaric life, but still practice the path of the Vajrayana, for them it is important to cultivate a pure perception for one another, to see one's partner, for example, as the deity. And in that way, actually, the relation will not just be ordinary, worldly, but actually will become a way, like a feast offering, become an accumulation of great merit. So that actually is the path of a pure perception. And then the third, the lowest capacity, at the very least, They have taken the bodhisattva vow, and they sustain commitment of love and compassion for each other, and they consider the benefit of others as more important than their own benefit. So at least we establish a relation that is based on bodhicitta. So these are 3 methods or levels of the path of understanding the practice of action mudra. So again, according to the highest perspective, it refers to the practice of the 6 yogas of Naropa. In a medium case, it refers to the pure perception of seeing each other as the deity. And in the last case, at least, we share a relation of bodhicitta with each other. We hold our samayas of bodhicitta, and holding bodhicitta then naturally will transform all your activities into a practice of the 6 paramitas. So here the benefit of others is most important, and if that is sustained, then whatever you do will naturally become a practice of virtue, an accumulation of merit. Milarepa had said, aside from a perfectly practice virtue or merit in whatever you do, there is no other skillful means than that. So in brief, if you cultivate bodhicitta, then naturally even great faults will be transformed into good qualities.
There is shimi that only she charles. There is shima me para tondanguni, Indian shima meva. But Sancho Singh, Dadun shima meva. This is not the me devala during the moon, she just took your. There is simply board, the me savani you married. They are not in the boy and younger, darker boy and married, gaya you married. The little drum down such a top down singing the Nuri, married to know in a course, such a jet go you married. But really, Sajachimata Hakoton, getting in the Kilman, double Sagan the Shetson, you can't tell you, cook Shetson, send Daddy the magic. Now, to see Daddy the Shetson, double Sagan from Songli, getting in the Yamanawa, the second period. Tomong would up your top the material, they have been for you, the Tory George, such a marathon down with them, but tiny or chats.
And then it says, when you're free of clinging, then bliss, emptiness, wisdom will arise. So being free of clinging on the ultimate level is that there is no clinging or grasping at a duality. On the relative level, there is no fixation, no attachment that comes out of self-concern. And so when you are free of clinging, free of grasping, then all afflictions are transformed, become wisdom, and all suffering becomes happiness. Then there is no more suffering in the mind, one is always happy. And being always happy and free of suffering, then one attains longevity without graying hair and waxing like the moon. You will have clear radiance and strength like that of a lion. So here, that strength of a lion, you might think that a lion is an animal, but we're not talking about actually the animal here, but the strength of that animal. That is, there is no fear. There's nothing to be afraid about anymore. Because when you have realized the view of Mahamudra, you have realized the nature that transcends birth and death. And then you know that even if this world comes to an end, there is no fear, because the nature of mind transcends birth and death. And likewise, for as long as we do not release self-grasping, there will also be no end to suffering, even if this world comes to an end. Because this world is very small, there is many other worlds. So knowing that, one attains a state of fearlessness like a lion. And then the common accomplishments will be swiftly gained, and you will arrive at the supreme. So that is the common and supreme accomplishment the common accomplishment refers to this longevity and youthfulness and so on. And as a result of that, finally, through realizing Mahamudra, you attain the supreme attainment.
사자 진보 내지 명하는 로아까지 형은 내 발초 또 저쪽인데 로바 돌진 장단 있으면 공부 독행이 좀 무슨 말에 내가 산축천 나바니 제발돼서 요래 건조근은 나바 사제에 대발에 쇼과 탐제가 받아 대발에 돈다고는 감슴 센진 탐제로 사제가 녀보고 탐제가 받아 대발에 지금 뭐나 하자 돕진 버리 들이테에 탐제라는 그 강시시슈에 들라마 계시니 마보요래 들밀ꯛ 마보를 대답이 공다들이 돌로셔서 봤어 들 아니면 팀에 배중을 들이 나게 담이라 벌차라해
And then it says, may this crucial advice on Mahamudra abide in fortunate wayfarers' hearts. And these instructions were the words spoken to Naropa by Lord Tilopa, who is actually indivisible, non-dual from the Buddha Vajradhara. And he spoke these words which are endowed with great blessings. And so now here it says fortunate ones, is that there is actually also two ways of understanding that in terms of the twofold bodhicitta. On the relative level, everyone, all those who have entered the Buddha's teachings are fortunate ones. And then on the ultimate level, all sentient beings possess the cause of awakening, have Buddha nature, and therefore actually in reality everyone is a fortunate one. So this is a very powerful prayer that I have shared with you to the best of my abilities. There are many lamas and master scholars here. Probably some of these instructions were slightly mistaken, and I apologize for that, and I openly confess, and I ask for your forgiveness, your forbearance. It is just because the problem is that I do not have enough learning. So in any case, this completes my mandala offering to you.
Benzabime ahoy ye number daba wanjin serje saige o benzarege awo sejare mejeje yongze korbe hoere jabore ye lamba bo lon zambe